Hey everyone! I am going to run through our first release of the new year, our January 2021 events version 3.11. This shouldn't take too long. This release was more so about refactoring and fixing some bugs. So we have one feature and a few enhancements that I'm going to go through. Then I'll go into our upgrade instructions and then touch just on a few points with testing. The first piece here is with our dynamic event URLs. What is this? So the request that we got from customers was the ability to create a community page for an event. However, instead of having to always, log back into the community on the back end, change the component to a different event when it's sold out, when the prior one is sold out or has ended, is there a way to essentially create a page and then just update the event from the URL with the event ID? Said, give us some time. We did find a solution for it, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like. So from the event, you're going to go ahead and create an event object detail page. And you can make this page look as pretty as you want and add in all of these other components and references. The biggest thing that you need is the Blackthorn event component. So you'll drag that in from custom components onto the page. And then within this pop-up component, you'll only define the height and the width. That's it, nothing else. You'll go ahead and click publish. And then I have this in the documentation, but what you're going to go ahead and do is there's a couple of ways to do this. What I thought was a nice way is I actually created a formula field called community event. I'll just move my icon over here. I created a community event formula field that concatenated my community URL for that specific event page and the event record ID that I was on. So this way, any events that you have created in the past or any that are that you're creating now or that you're going to create in the future will just automatically generate this URL. So if you want to reference this URL in an email or you need to send it over to your web team so that they can just post it quickly with a click here to register button, it will then bring them to that community page with this specific event. Now again, remember, this URL can change to a different event. So you could have, 17 events pointing to the exact same community page and having all of those 17 registrations happen at the same time. This is super handy because then you don't, again, like I said, have to have your admin log into the back end. You don't have to pause communication. You simply can just remove the old URL and add in the new URL referencing a new event. If you have any questions about this, you are more than welcome to reach out to our support team. We're happy to talk about it. We are also releasing our community, our logged in community for our January release. So anybody that has a paid support plan, you can log in, manage your cases, but more importantly, we have two collaboration groups. Payments and events. I know I'm not showing it on my screen right now, but you'll receive an email with additional information. And go ahead and ask questions, reach out and say, is anybody using the dynamic URL feature within a community, and start collaborating with each other. The Blackthorn team is so fortunate to work with all of these customers and understand the use cases, and we want you all to share that information with each other. It's very valuable, and we can help each other become more efficient, create scalable processes, and create really cool, awesome things with the Blackthorn apps on the Salesforce platform. So that's my spiel on the communities. I'll get back to our release note. So outside of the feature, we have our enhancements. First is our event keyword feature. Before this release, the keyword feature only worked with our Aspen event group view. We have now expanded that over into our list view. So this is what it currently looks like today. All right, so just again, that normal list view. And this is what it's going to look like when you use the preview URL or come January 20th when we deploy all of these front end changes to production. Again, then you can click on the filter and it will show all of the events specific to healthcare or to women. Nice experience. An additional experience, so you have Aspen, list, and calendar. All right, the short description. This has been actually a field on the event record for a while now. It just hasn't been utilized on the front end. With the short description, and while my event loads here, everything's going just a little bit slower at night. All right, so there's been this field called short description in our package for a while. If you do not see it on your event layout, go ahead and add it. When you define this field, it will then provide a description of this event on your event group. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here and I will just navigate back so you can see is that this is what it's going to look like with the preview URL and on January 20th in production. Currently it looks like this. If I just remove preview and hit go, no short description. So one thing to note, if this field has been on your layout for a while, just make sure any live event groups, go ahead and click on it and reference the preview event with your group to make sure you don't have any like test descriptions, test short descriptions that actually shouldn't be on there or need to be updated before January 20th. Okay, a few other housekeeping items that I'll just show you from the release note. On the left-hand side is what we currently have today, meaning that if you set the capacity on your event record and the remaining capacity, say, for example, here is that there's 5 tickets left, that label will show up on every single ticket. And that's deceiving because there's really only 5 remaining, but on the left-hand side, it looks like there's 10. There's don't worry, there's no concern for overbooking. It just keeps decreasing as you add an attendee for both spots, but it just doesn't, it's confusing and it doesn't look nice. On the right-hand side is what it's going to look like with the preview URL and on January 20th in production, where you are going to see if the capacity remaining for the event is 4, it will bubble up to the top. So it's not going to be, positioned under a specific ticket. Another item is our error message page. I'm sure all of you have received this once while you were testing. I think I liked the bicycle probably a day or a few days after we implemented it. Now I despise it, and I'm very happy to see it go. Many customers provided a feedback saying that this isn't with brand and it doesn't look good compared to how our events look. At the least, can you just remove the image? So that's what we did. We do have a roadmap item to make it dynamic so that you can include your contact information if, say, an attendee does reach this page, so that you can help them out over the phone. Okay, that's it for our feature and enhancements. We have many bug fixes. Like I said, this was really a refactoring sprint for us to just clean up a few loose ends. So go ahead and read the back-end bug fixes again. They will be fixed once you upgrade to the latest version. The front-end bug fixes will be fixed once we push to production on the 20th of January. Upgrade instructions. So a few things to note. With the latest version of events, payments version 5.13 is required. So you can read that December release if you're currently on version 3.10 or older. If you are not on an older version than 3.10, then you are not required. There is no dependency on the latest version of payments. So if you don't want to upgrade or none of these pieces pertain to you, then you can just focus on the events release. Once you upgrade your events app and you're using GoToWebinar or WebEx, we do have a new scheduled job. Reason being is that with GoToWebinar and WebEx, we found out that they actually automatically release all authorizations from their application after 30 days. So when you connected, it's 30 days and then it'll get disconnected and you have to click reconnect again. Instead of making you click reconnect every 30 days or making sure that you remember it, we have created a job that will ping the authorization and essentially reauthorize the application so it extends it another 30 days. So you don't have to worry about it ever disconnecting. And what you'll do, I'll just show you very quickly, is you'll go into setup and then you'll go into your events admin tab And on the left-hand side, there is a tab called Scheduled Jobs. So let me just click on Events Admin tab and just show you really quickly where it is. Oh, my computer is going so slow. Come on. All right, so Scheduled Jobs, click Schedule Recommended Jobs, and then it'll kick it off, and then it'll be ready to go. All right, just the last bit about testing. So from now until January 20th, the directions below will allow you to test events, event groups, any of the features that are front end features between now and the 20th. And then from the 20th, you can just use your custom domains, having it be within the iframe that you've placed, that event group or event on. It should work with any standard URL that gets created. Like always, if you have any questions or you need help with testing or any concerns or feedback or whatever the case may be, don't hesitate to reach out to us through our support form. I'm going to have this pull up our community and just show you what our login community is going to look like with it being released on Thursday. So you'll go ahead and be able to log in and do much more than just these two items. So you'll see an additional button for collaboration and an additional for managing cases so that you can see all of your open and working and closed cases with the Blackthorn support team. Hopefully this was super helpful, and we look forward to having everybody upgrade to the January release. Thank you.